and I'm sure they are all appreciative, and we'll all go in for an oil change.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going in. Absolutely. I'm actually due for a change, so I'm going to get in, I think, before the next game.
You know, that's not a bad idea. When I'm up in Peterborough watching the next game, maybe I'll pop in as well.
3-on-3, Evans runs across the top. Katoni is just sending picks like a madman. The pass by Evans, I think it was a pass off the glass intentionally. Maybe it was a shot. Brody Merrill chasing it down. Vince comes out. Merrill is on him. Vince gets away. Shot clock expires, and it'll be Chiefs possession. Merrill wants the ball right now so he can shoot. They're not going to let that happen. You will never see a referee toss the guy the ball so he can shoot an empty net.
Absolutely not.
That is when you feel like you got too much involved in the play. We're now to 4-on-4 for another 8 seconds, and Merrill is coming back out. It seems like he's been on the floor for most of this game. There's a shot by hits Vince, and the thing is, with point shot, it can hit you and just go straight through. He shoots it so hard.
He's got one of the heaviest shots in the game. He had one rip last game where I thought it was going to go through the net. It was so hard.
I think about the only guy I've seen shoot harder is Paul Rabel. Adam Jones with the ball up to Corey Vitarelli shoots. Oh, what a save by Ward as Vitarelli got a quick release off. It's a partial backswing. Now Stainhouse trying to get away from Paul Dawson. Sturos with the help, and Josh Courier tries to get open. We're back to 5-on-5. Stainhouse shoots. I'm not sure if he even saw it, but he knew where it was going because he shrugged the shoulder up. That pass doesn't get through. Comes Six Nations the other way. Ethan O'Connor, one of their trade deadline pickups, passes it off now. Benesh back to Randy Stotts. The Stotts brothers playing together for the first time in the playoffs here. That must be fun for them.
Yeah, it's got to be exciting for them.
You've got the Dawson brothers on that team, the Self brothers on the Lakers. You've got the Evans cousins, but Turner is not in the lineup tonight. He's a healthy scratch. So
still a family affair down on the floor here.
Oh, what a shot by Katoni. Spins and fires just past the foot of Ward, just inside the post. And Holden Katoni has always been able to do that. The reason he's able to play right now as a rookie is because he's learned to do whatever else they need him to do on the floor. But he shows that great shot.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And that's the thing. He's definitely, adapted his game because he's mostly, used to being a spot-up shooter, being the go-to guy. But, playing up with this big club, he's really completed his game. You'll see that spin-around shot. Looks like he's spinning around on a pole like he used to do with Johns Hopkins as well. And absolute cannon. It's a beautiful step-back shot there.
Dane Smith with the ball picked up by Robert Hope. Goes over to Benesh, who fires one well wide. Comes straight out to point. That's a pass on the... Oh, what a save by either Vince's arm or the post on Benesh.
Looked like it might have been the post
I thought post by how fast it came out.
Yeah.
They tried to get it to the cutting Merrill, but he just kind of bounces it around a bit. Keeps it bouncing, but eventually Robert Hope comes up with it. Points on him. I was talking about Paul Rabel. I remember watching the NLL Champions Cup final and seeing Rabel hit Bob Watson with a shot that knocked him. There's a shot by Stainhouse that knocked him into the net. Oh, a great check to take away the shooting chance for Tutton. Nice job by Paul Dawson, but Rabel's shot hit Bob Watson, blew his glove off, knocked him backwards into the net for a goal. And you can just picture Craig Point doing that.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Jones trying to get away from Mike McNamara. McNamara D'ing him up nice. There's a moving pick. I was going to say a big pick, and then it was called as a moving pick by Katoni. That's when you got to be a little careful when you're saying that pick. It can be. You could probably throw a pick that solid if the guy wasn't sideways to you, because then you're going to knock him over.
Yeah, exactly.
If you straight up on him, you can probably get away with it. Reese with the for Ian Lord, who drew an assist on the last one. After the goals and after penalties, you will hear the announcement. We have a microphone in the penalty box, so that's what you're hearing when you hear the numbers. It's the referees telling the scorers who the goal scorer and the people picking up assists were. There's Smith with one hand over to Benesh. Smith gets it back. Hope out on him. A pick by Stotts, but a nice two-man game there by Lord, and Hope jumps out on Stotts. That is a pretty effective defensive two-man game by Hope and Lord, who may have been the two best defenders on this team this year.
Yeah, no, they both have done a fantastic job. They were lights out once again last game, in game one. It looks like they're picking it up right where they left it off.
Joel Matthews trying to create some spaces. Evans has the ball, comes across to Vitarelli, who gets it to Jones with 8 on the shot clock now. Stainhouse backpedaling. Jones will toe drag across to Vitarelli, and it bounces away from him. They're going to run out of time to get a shot off.
Nice opportunity there. Nice little toe drag from Jones, but Vitarelli can't quite hold on to it. And
Vitarelli getting into it on the way to the bench with Mike McNamara, who's saying it's interference, and Vitarelli saying, I'm just running to my box. Which he really, he was. He was just heading for the door, but it was not coincidental. There's Austin Scotts, gets away from 3 players. The 4th one checks him in the back to the floor, and now there's going to be a penalty called. And I think both refs felt like they missed the first one. I felt like they missed the first one.
Absolutely. Oh,
and now Tutton going after Benesh. Dan Dawson jumps in the way. He is quite a peacemaker. Tutton gives him a push. And now it's Dylan Evans getting into it with Benesh. I'm not sure who they called it on. It might have been Stephen Hoare.
Looks like
I really did think there was a penalty a bit earlier when they when you go down. Anyone who's not quite familiar with the rules, cross-checking is allowed, but when you're on the floor, you can't cross-check somebody. 3-2.
There it is, Stotts once again acting like a veteran. He gets up, big smile on his face. Most players, most young players especially as well, after taking a beating like that, they might be, wincing, but nope, he's happy. He gets up with a big smile. He goes,
I thought you were going to say they might be saying something. I guarantee you Austin Stotts was saying something.
Oh, yeah.
Craig Point up top to Benesh. Back to Point. They try and go down low to Austin Stotts, but Lord gets a stick on it. He's tied up in the corner, so the shot there. And that one stopped off the stick of Austin Stotts, who has taken off his knee brace. He was wearing it in the first period. He's worn it all the games I've seen him, but he's taken it off. I don't know if he went to Lord's between periods. We're going to have a possession call as Mark Stainhouse pulled the stick out of the hands of a defender, Dan Coates, and tossed it away, but then I thought we had a penalty coming at mid-floor, but Cardonio was just saying start there. So O'Connor throws it ahead to Dan Dawson. The Chiefs set up on the power play. Dane Smith's at the top this time. Point over at the shooter spot. Dan Dawson still down low. Benesh. Little toe drag, comes back, looking to pass, gets it to Smith. Point across, and Lord blocks that one. There's Benesh getting the shot off. Briar Jonathan gets it. You don't expect him to get a lot of power play time, but he's been stepping up into an offensive role.
Another block by Lord. You mentioned it earlier in this game.
And there's one by Hope. We told you. There's Hope right out on Dane Smith. Then self-helps. Point with the shot, just enough of it by Vince. He's seen that shot from Craig Point in practice plenty.
Oh, yeah.
Smith with a quick release, but that one's blocked by Hope again. And then Lord tries to grab it, loses it to Briar Jonathan. Fresh 30. And Dan Dawson passes to Benesh, who's stopped by Vince. And you can hear Rich Kilgore from here yelling, Dan, shoot! There's the pass over. It gets either tipped or it's just low, but the Chiefs still have 22 seconds on the shot clock as Briar Jonathan gives it to Dane Smith. And those are some tired defenders out there right now and some awfully talented forwards. But a big save by Vince. They say your goalie has to be your best penalty killer, and he has been here. Dawson directing traffic. Another fresh 30. Foot save across to Jonathan. He's going to shoot, misses. Yeah, we're back to even strength. And here come the Lakers out of the bench. Here comes Evans. Oh, what a save by Ward. That would have been a momentum swing for the Lakers. Their penalized player jumped to the bench. Sean Evans hopped on the other end. And they had a wide open break. Dawson fakes it, goes to the middle, and has the ball stripped. Scott Self tries to grab it. Sid Smith's up front, playing another offensive shift, and played a bit of a whack to the leg of a Lakers defender, but Robert Hope comes away. This is game 2 of the series, as we mentioned, and boy, these Peterborough Six Nations series, this is the 3rd championship final in a row, 4th in 5 years between the two teams, and they get intense. This is a rivalry. Jones with the shot, again 5-hole, again Ward stops it. Jones is going to have to go back to the corners, I think. Merrill takes that pass, and Tutton's right on him. Pass to a cutting Austin Stotts, who's gone. That's why he wasn't on the power play. He went to put the knee brace back on. I'm serious. Did you notice?
I did notice that, yeah.
You laughed. I thought you thought I was kidding.
No, it's just funny that that's literally what he did.
Balance, so you give him the What happened? Oh, there. Yeah. Appreciate this. They really do. Nick Weiss, I don't know if he meant to do that, but it was brilliant. There's a shot by Evans. He basically did like a soccer dummy where he fake swung at the ball. The hand was kind of halfway.
Fans, please keep in mind.
Calling just a bad decision. We've been praising Austin Stotts. Down low as Jones goes back to Evans. Billy D. Smith and Coates up top as they take.
A perfect plate shot.
Away from Tony quickly in, bounces away from him. Self tries a little Paul Gascoigne tip it around to yourself play. I'm all about the football comments tonight. Here we go with Austin Stotts coming around. Dylan Evans tied him up, and fans in the stands here from Six Nations are putting their hands up to signal a penalty. But Gardonio and Williams, the people who count, are not. It was marginal. I thought Dylan Evans had a bit of a clamp on him, but I don't know if I would have made the call. The 30-second shot clock expires. I don't know if you call that in a playoff game. You want to be consistent. I'm
Absolutely. And I think they have been consistent.
Yeah, I think so.
They haven't been calling that, so good on them.
Not too much going on. I mean, a lot of incidental penalties or coincidental. There's Vitorelli on his offside, rips it. Bounces wide, did not touch Warts, only 15 left on the shot clock. Now Stainhouse has it, the last goal scorer. He looked like he was having to think about it. Matthews setting picks. Stainhouse goes to the net, stopped by Ward. Boy, Stainhouse scored one in Oakville in Game 5 where he just went to the net, threw everybody, and trickled it in. And it may or may not have been in. It was actually right behind the net at the time, and it was close. But, boy, he is so dangerous when he goes to the net because he seems to find little holes.
Oh, yeah. That's vintage Stainhouse right there.
Point driving to the net. Jake Withers, nice job turning him aside. Dawson goes to Benesh. Sidearm shot, belly pad. Jake Withers and Zach Currier, all rookies. Zach Currier actually not. Oh, yeah, he is in the lineup, of course, tonight. 3 rookies, and Leo Sturos, a rookie for Six Nations. There's a shot, turned to. Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Sturos is up for the draft this year, and I think he'll be probably not a first rounder, but I wouldn't say he would be a bad pick in the first round. Definitely a second rounder. Shot by Evans, saved by Ward. Go ahead.
I really like his game. No, I think he's going to be a very good pro. At the next level. Oh yeah, no, yeah, it is. Consistency is such a big part of his game.
Ethan O'Connor runs it up, pass across, a little behind Merrill, but he gets it and smartly steps aside the Ian Ward check attempt. Dan Dawson up to Randy Stotts. He's stripped. Withers wasn't sure the ball was free, so Stotts beats him to it. Now Stotts coming out to the corner, up to Dan Dawson. Oh, big save by Vince as Dawson almost picked that top corner. Sweeting's already in the NLL for Peterborough. He plays with the Colorado Mammoth, gotten about half their games this year, and had a pretty good rookie season. A little overshadowed by fellow rookie Jordan Gillis. An unbelievable value at the 5th round pick. 4th or 5th. I have to check my stats for either 4th or 5th round. And he was excellent for Colorado. Sweeting was very good as well. I believe it was Sweeting in the 3rd and Gillis in the 4th. Zach Currier and Jake Withers both going next year. I think Zach Currier could be 1st overall, and what's a pretty. There's point, checked by Hope. Doesn't have to get in the way. Dane Smith, toe drag, goes to the net, just misses the top, and he had Vince dropping. Here comes Tutton. He's got Dan Coates on him. Tutton likes to put the shoulder down and barge in. He tries it, loses the ball. It's picked up by Marshall. Tutton still going after it. Just misses. And there's Sturos making a check. Sturos is going to be a nice pickup in the 2nd round for someone. He looked, I thought, a little bit like a deer scrambling around on the ice at the beginning of the season. He was a bit scrambly, a bit chasey, but he's just gotten better and better and better. He was the defender of the year in the OLA Junior League. There's a shot by Smith, stopped by Vince, and he is looking so solid for them as the season goes on. Definitely will be a good pro as well.
Oh, yeah.
When I say at the next level, I mean for these young guys who have come to this level and the NLL. You can have the debate about MSL versus the NLL. I think they're both great leagues. I think they're both great lacrosse.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just this series alone.
Chad Culp was just a torpedo there as he got a little push in the back and decided to use the momentum to basically take a dive block at somebody. David Brock didn't like it. He thought he was going for his knees, I think. But I think Culp was just knocked over from behind and decided to try and throw a pick while he was doing it.
Chad Culp goes so fast. He plays such a fast game. I bet you he probably really couldn't
Fast and gritty.
Yeah.
Austin Stotts with the shot, and Vince stops it. That was a pretty nice release. Stotts can get the ball off with no space, it looks like.
Oh, I know, and he loves that twister shot, and it's not one of those twisters in tight. He'll take an outside shot with a twister, and that really fools a goaltender.
Katoni. Probably have some people watching it in Calgary. Thanks to Guido. I was going to say Guido. Guido is Holden's dad. Came to plenty of Peterborough games when his son was playing junior there. Coates runs across and will hand it off. Of course, Holden Katoni was a ball boy for the Calgary Roughnecks when Tracy Kelusky was an absolute star and captain in Calgary. There's Dawson driving through, everyone trying to get him. He's knocked away from the ball. Nobody knows where it is but Benesh, but then he loses sight of it. 5-6 on the shot clock, and somehow Dane Smith got the ball and a shot off. Is that a penalty?
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be a hold.
Slash. And who's it on? I think it's... We're going to wait and see. Neither of the boxes open. I think it might be on Six Nations because Scott's on. It is. Six Nations Ryan Benesh, who
Benesh is going to get the
was kind of banged around in there and retaliated.
I think
it happens.
I think they thought the ball might have been stuck in his jersey or something, because everyone was hacking and whacking away. And then when that ball squirted out to Dane Smith, who I have no idea how he even got that shot off with that spin around. And while that was happening, that's where I think Benesh took that slash. And
that's how you score 72 goals in one National Lacrosse League season.
Exactly.
And lead MSL in scoring last year. Of course, Smith missed most of this season with plantar fasciitis, which is why, if you're wondering why he only played a couple regular season games and was able to play the playoffs, it's because he was on the injured reserve. Stainhouse with the shot, scores! 11 seconds into the power play, and the Lakers are up 4-3. That'll make, I suspect, a large part of our 1,000+ viewing audience pretty happy.
Oh, absolutely. And it almost looked like a very, very similar release on that last goal there. They didn't take nearly as much time to set up that power play. And you know what? I mean, though how good this penalty kill is, we'll see the shot right here. We might just be able to see right here. Just get that little screen from Evans. A great pick from Evans. Evans, another great player that's so good away from the ball.
Here comes Jeremy Thompson off the faceoff save by Vince, but Rob Marshall gets the ball back right away. Withers on him. Brad Self comes to help. That ball bounced away. Stephen Hoare gets it. It's 4-3 with 4 minutes left here in the second period. The Lakers lead. I'm Stephen Stamp with Pat Gregoire, bringing you JVI Sports Network's presentation of Canadian Tire Pit Stop Peterborough Major Series Lacrosse playoff action. It's kind of a long thing to say. Oh, Stainhouse going for a natural hat trick. Go ahead.
It's a great thing to say, though, because if we weren't saying it, we wouldn't be saying it, because there wouldn't be a broadcast.
Exactly. We'd be sitting there watching the game and not being able to tell you about it. We're so glad you're with us. Thank you once again to Canadian Tire Pit Stop. They probably won't get, I was going to say, they might get tired of hearing us say that. I don't think they will.
No.
But we just can't express enough our appreciation. And again, if you want to help out, make other broadcasts possible, let us know. We'd be happy to talk to you. There's Austin Stotts with the ball. He thought about passing to Paul Dawson, takes a shot. We talked about a quick release earlier. How did that even get out of his stick and onto the net that fast?
Yeah, no looker as well, and that just hit the outside of the net, it looked like.
Yeah, outside of the post, I guess, because it bounced right up over the mesh. Randy Stotts to Dan Dawson, and you do not stop Dan Dawson. I was ready to call scores earlier, and he threw a couple extra fakes, and just that little sidearm off the inside of the post.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Dawson's not going to miss from there.
6-83,
threw a couple
18.
of extra fakes there, but he definitely could have pulled that in. But, hey, just to be sure, and, credit to that first quick. We're going to take a look here, and it's Stotts, a beautiful, beautiful pass. The defenders obviously a miscue there to leave Dawson wide open, and like I said, he's not going to miss from outside in front of the net like that.
Yeah, and interesting, it was Dawson from Stotts and Stotts, and Paul Dawson passed the ball to Austin Stotts. So if there were 3 assists, it would have been Dawson to Stotts, Stotts, and Dawson. That would have been pretty cool. Much like the old Evans from Evans and Evans when Scott, Stephen, and Sean Evans were all playing. You can have it again now with Sean and Turner and Dylan. There's a shot from Vitarelli stopped by Ward. And Vitarelli knocks Jeremy Thompson out. He knocked him down the other night with a shoulder to the middle of to the sternum, just flattened him. That was a big hit. Dane Smith lobs it over. Briar Jonathan will shoot. Nice arm save by Matt Vince. Briar Jonathan looking a bit more comfortable. I thought he looked like he didn't want to shoot the other night. And then I know they told him, go ahead, when you've got your shot, take it. You're up there for a reason. We trust you. He gets the ball now. A little spin. Good decision not to shoot on that one. Pass across to Dane Smith. He loses the ball. It's picked up. He's trying to go, and Leo Sturos grabs it. Passes it off to the bench, and across comes Randy Stotts to set up. In this series, Sean Evans Jones, some help from Culp. There's the pass over to Evans as they get it away from Marshall. Evans to Culp. Oh my goodness! Off the post and back through the legs of Ward. And here comes Brody Merrill with Jones trying to check him again. And Jones is going to go back and play defense. Unless, no, he's going to stay and play defense. So right now only 4 Chiefs on. Here comes Dan Dawson as the 5th. Dane Smith carrying the ball over to Stotts, just misses. Goes straight to his brother Austin. He passes it down to Randy behind the net. Comes out. I thought he stepped on the crease, but he didn't. That shot's blocked anyway. Then Ryan Benesh flattens. It's Adam Jones with a check in the back that should at least have been a moving pick, I would say.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but these officials are putting their whistles away a little bit here. And
26 seconds on the shot clock, 23 on the game clock. So Matt Vince is slowly making his way. It is the long change period, so that 3-second differential is going to be a tricky one. You've got to take the shot, obviously, at the end of the shot clock, but it can leave some time for Six Nations to throw it the other way. 5 seconds to shoot. Ball comes out to Catoni. To Vitarelli across. They can't catch it in the middle, and the ball play is called down with 2 seconds left. A long shot. It's going to go wide. Just to finish the thought I started earlier, Holden Catoni,